So usually when players say it's not about the money, it really is about the money. In this instance, it's really not about the money with Davante Adams because according to his agents, the Packers actually offered more money than the massive contract he gets from the Las Vegas Raiders as part of last night's blockbuster trade, which, taking you behind the scenes, the brother from another, is so big until it caused me and Michael to cancel our scheduled off day because we were like, no, we got to come to work tomorrow because ain't no telling what else going to pop off in the NFL, not to mention
can I tell him a little bit more?
Please.
Can I tell him a little bit more behind the scenes, a little bit more?
Yeah.
Michael Smith, thank you, Michael Smith. Before the conversation begins, he said, am I on speaker? What you about to say? Am I on speaker?
Oh, because I cussed. I cussed.
I said no.
I cussed on Twitter. Same thing I said on Twitter last night. Exactly.
What?
I was like, it rhymes with duck. I was like,
because you know what? I was hey, look, man, I was in full good husband, good dad mode at that time, right?
Yeah.
So I missed it.
You were going to pick up dinner.
I was picking up dinner
out to pick up dinner. Yeah.
For my mother-in-law. Okay.
Well done.
Okay. So all kinds of things I had going on. I'm like, hey, what's up? Davante Adams, and I do believe Davante Adams traded to the Raiders with his college teammate Derek Carr, and as you pointed out, hey, are you recruiting? Are you recruiting? Derek Carr was like, yeah, I am.
Always.
I'm recruiting them. So you mentioned that the Packers offered him more money, and it wasn't about the money. We talked about this yesterday. This is the theme of the week, Mike. It's really relationships. It's relationships. From Davante Adams' perspective, all right.
Yeah.
I've been with Green Bay for a long time. I've been in the league as long as Derek Carr's been in the league. I've been a Pro Bowler. I'm an All-Pro. I've done things that very few receivers in this league have done. Why does it take this? Why does it take somebody else coming in for you to appreciate me? Why are we playing this game? This should have been done a long time ago. Why you put this franchise tag on me? Why can't you sign Aaron Rodgers and me to a contract and then we're good?
Right. Why I gotta wait? Everybody eats, B. You mentioned dinner for your mother-in-law. Speaking of eating, just want to point this out. I mean, we've gone back and forth on this. I don't think there's much debate. I mean, one could argue the Triple Crown winner Cooper Kupp and maybe somebody else in other years.
Yes, right.
But Davante Adams, given his consistent body of work, is the best receiver in the NFL. Since 2016, Davante Adams is the leading wide receiver throughout the NFL in receptions with 581, receiving yards with 7,192, receiving touchdowns with 69. He's second in targets with 862, while being 12th in games. This is in 87 games since 2016.
Yeah.
So he's been nicked up here and there. There are some that think this is overpaying for a 29-year-old receiver. I am not one of those people. But you're absolutely right about the relationship part, and I'll go with the relationship.
So what? So what is
That's what you do.
So what?
That's what you do.
Okay, sure.
But I'll go
overpaying by what? 5%?
And for context,
3%? I don't know.
And for context, it's not only the biggest deal ever for a wide receiver, largest contract for any non-quarterback in NFL history, $28.5 million average annual value and $142.5 million total. All right. But the relationship part, you hit it right on the head, man. And what I like about it, this is a grown man move. This is an adult move. And Michael, without going too behind the scenes, you and I have had conversations that's like, look, man, I love you. You're my guy. You're my partner in crime. But this is what I got to do for me. And for Davante Adams, who has been joined at the hip, Pippen to Aaron Rodgers, Scotty, right? Whole last dance thing last year. You know,
right.
He's Aaron Rodgers' favorite receiver. He ain't Aaron Rodgers' pet. And this is Davante Adams making a grown man move saying, listen, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron, get your money, player. You do you. I'm going to do me. I want to go play with my boy Derek Carr from Fresno State. I want to go play for my team, the Raiders. They're in Las Vegas now. But this was about Davante Adams doing what was best for Davante Adams. Because come to find out, Aaron Rodgers did what he thought was best for Aaron Rodgers. When it first broke, everybody was like, whoa, did Aaron Rodgers sign his contract? Did he know this was coming? I thought he wanted to, have a say in personnel. I thought he wanted to have a shot at winning the Super Bowl. Apparently he knew. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers knew all along what was going to happen and still signed the contract, which to me says, and we'll get to the Packers in a second. I'd rather focus on the Raiders and Davante Adams for now.
Yeah.
But to me, this says that Rodgers wanted to stay with the Packers, which I said all along, and wanted his money. We'll get to Green Bay in a second, but good for Davante Adams getting rewarded for being a great receiver. Now, you look at just the Raiders, not the rest of the division, not yet. But just the Raiders, Mike. Like their lineup, this is a playoff team with a Pro Bowl quarterback in Derek Carr. These dudes are running out Davante Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Bryan Edwards at wide receiver, Darren Waller at tight end, and handing off to Josh Jacobs? I say that's a lot, but cancel Christmas. Like that, the autumn wind is about to be a Raider.
No, do it.
Once again.
Just so people get that. So people get that reference. Do it. Do it in the voice.
The autumn wind is a Raider. Like last night I've been like this is a commitment to excellence.
It's great.
Damn that overpaid 29-year-old wide receiver thing. So what? This is what commitment to excellence looks like.
Yeah,
it's trading for Chandler Jones to pair him with Max Crosby. So we'll see your Khalil Mack, Los Angeles. And we'll raise you, we'll answer with Chandler Jones. Maybe, we'll get to that in a second.
We'll get in the ring. We'll get in the ring.
Right.
You might knock us out, but we'll get in the ring.
We went and got Josh McDaniels, and Josh McDaniels and the Oakland Raiders have not just been Patriots West. Mike, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Because when, they brought the fullback from the Patriots in. They brought Brandon Bolden from the Patriots in.
Jakob Johnson, thank you. But this move, it doesn't strike me as what Bill Belichick would have done. You know what I mean? Like, this is Josh McDaniels saying, this is my quarterback, and this is my guy, right? Very astute point, because Josh McDaniels is about big wide receivers. That's what he likes. When we saw Brandon Marshall at the Super Bowl, and he continued remind you. He continued to remind you, say, no, Mike, the story was, this is when I told you I was about to set an NFL record. I told you where it was. And I told you. So Brandon Marshall played for Josh McDaniels, and McDaniels fed him. McDaniels drafted Eric Decker. McDaniels drafted Demaryius Thomas, rest in peace. And now McDaniels is going out to get Davante Adams. He likes wide receivers. As a matter of fact, behind the scenes, he used to pull on his cape. He used to pull on Belichick's cape and be like, hey, man, let's get an upgrade. See, McDaniels and Tom Brady were on the same page when it came to number one wide receivers. McDaniels was, you were talking about Christmas? He was a kid going under the tree and saying, oh, I may get a little something, and finding, video games and Jordans. When they got Randy Moss, he was out of his mind. He loved that. So this is what he really wants. The head coach, this is not a Patriots thing. He's not hey, let's matriculate down the field. Let's have our slot receivers who are, 3rd and 3 and, 10, 11 play drive. Boom. He wants a home run. He wants a home run hitter.
Let me say two things to that.
And he got one.
Let me say two things to that. One, we always talk about Patriots coaches, the demise of them trying to be Belichick and not just be themselves. So you just spoke to that. McDaniels clearly knows better on technically job number 3, but stop number 2, if he didn't know it already.
Number 2.
That he's his own person. Secondly, apropos of nothing, I love nothing more than this was some Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers, or as the case now may be, Derek Carr, Davante Adams stuff right there, because you weren't thinking about saying that, but it was almost like it was a back shoulder, because I could see this again, inside baseball. You weren't going to say that, but I could see you light up when I said Josh McDaniels not just being Patriots West, and you immediately emptied your notebook. You immediately went like, oh, I got something on that. I could just see you. You was like, boom. Like, let me tell you about Josh McDaniels. I was like, that was cool to watch. I was like, okay. I was like, it was unspoken. He was like, oh, I got that. I know exactly what to go with it. So that was balls there.
Let's go.
Balls in the air.
Let's go. Let's
high point that thing.
I love it. And as much as I love an underdog, Mike. And I was like a Raider when the team was saying, "Hey, Rich Bisaccia should have the job. That's our guy.
Yeah.
He got us through this chaotic period." I was rooting for Rich Bisaccia to hold on to the job. Obviously, that didn't happen. Now he's in Green Bay as a special teams coach. But they did upgrade from an offensive standpoint. Now, I don't know if McDaniels is going to get it right. His second time as a head coach. He says he's learned a lot. He's much more mature now. He was a kid when he got the job. I think he was 32 or 33 when he got it in Denver, and that was way back in 2009. But from a play calling standpoint, you got an elite play caller in Josh McDaniels who was better than Bisaccia, better than John Gruden, if we're just going to be honest about it. So not only did they upgrade their personnel, they upgraded the guy who's going to be designing those plays and calling those plays theoretically, even though he's not the offensive, he's not the play caller. He's got a coordinator there. So I'm excited for the Raiders.
I mean,
I'm excited for what that division.
Dude,
but that team.
We'll unpack that momentarily. But this offense is as good as anybody. Yeah.
Where's the Super Bowl in Vegas this year? Is it in 23? February 23. It's in Vegas, or is it Vegas, New Orleans? I know Vegas is coming up soon. It's either this year or next year.
Is it?
So we've had a nice little run.
Super Bowl 58.
Oh, it's Phoenix.
Super Bowl 50. Phoenix. Super Bowl 58 is it's February 11th, 2024. So not this coming Super Bowl, but the next one is in Allegiant Stadium. Yes.
So they got. I think it's Phoenix
another home team looking at the Super Bowl in their own stadium, maybe. Yeah. Listen,
Get ready.
The Raiders' history has always been one of being, rest in peace, Al Davis, Mavericks, being trailblazers, being at the cutting edge. It's always been about making aggressive moves. It's been about the passing game, the deep passing game. The Mad Bomber, Darryl LaMonica. Big arm quarterbacks, big play, explosive offenses.
Did you mention the snake?
Jimmy the Snake, Jim Plunkett. Go down the list. If you want to just talk about like a resurgence, the Raiders in our youth, they were the national team. Cowboys to a certain extent, but the Raiders. A lot of it had to do with Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and NWA too, but the Raiders were the it team. The Raiders have a national following. The Raiders are one of the flagship franchises in this league historically. Patriots more recently, but from a historic standpoint, it's Steelers, it's Raiders, it's Cowboys. Again, relatively more recently, 49ers.
And they all used to go at it too.
That logo, it's like this is a return to glory. This is a commitment to excellence. This is a just win baby move on the part of the Las Vegas Raiders. Somewhere Al Davis, I'm sure many people have said this since last night, but maybe for the first time in a long time, Al Davis is truly pleased with Mark Davis. He hasn't always done everything right, but Al Davis is like, that's my boy. Right
That's
there.
What I'm talking
about. You talk about
That's what I'm talking
this
about.
is a playoff team, not being satisfied, not sitting by idly, watching the rest of the division get better. Speaking of which, we'll unpack the rest of the division after this. We're going to take a break. But that offense, forget the AFC West. That's as good as any offense in the NFL on paper. And defensively, they're pretty damn good too. And then we ain't even got to the draft.
It's really going to be an Al Davis move? Yeah, but it's going to be an Al Davis move. Al Davis loves corners. Fast corners, big corners.
Yeah.
They got to make a move for a corner now.
And he likes speed guys. Don't get me wrong. Al Davis is a speed guy, wide receiver. Davante Adams is not a burner. He's not a burner. Yeah. But I love what you said about this is a Josh McDaniels type receiver. So even at 29, he's still the best receiver in the NFL.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.